I'm interested in what now, and I'm interested in attacking some of these ideas that are out there from Bengals fans, even major league Bengals fans, on Trey Hendrickson, his value, and what he deserves and what he means to the team, and really just kind of like how things work. Okay, objectively, let's talk about Trey Hendrickson, lead sack leader. He deserves to be paid more and paid what the market reflects. That's objective. Like, he should get what the market reflects. And he should get it now, going into the last year of this deal. There is this idea that he should honor his deal. Like, he should honor his deal. Like, he had this contract. And I don't know if it's just like we don't know how the world works in the NFL. And I'm not saying that it should always work. And like, I understand the honoring of one deal. We can get into that in a second. But it is truly almost unheard of for players of his caliber in their prime to play out the final year without an extension. Khalil Mack with the Raiders, maybe. But again, the Raiders weren't going anywhere. Cincinnati, you're a Super Bowl contender. We both sides. We got to go. We cannot procrastinate and like have a slow start and get a slow start to them. We can't do it. Okay. He's too important. He's too important to that defense. There is so much like BS about Trey and his value being slung around. It's actually driving me up the wall. Okay. He led the league in sacks. I already said that. Everybody knows that, but it's not like he's a one-hit wonder. There's this idea that he's this one, like, yeah, or it didn't matter. Are we joking? He's second in sacks over the last 3 years combined. So that's one sack behind Myles Garrett, the highest paid, the best. One sack behind Myles Garrett over 3 years. 3 years. Why should he be making half of what Myles is making? Is he Myles Garrett? No. Is he half of Myles Garrett? No. Next, there's an idea like, oh, he's old. You can't pay somebody. This dude's 30. Don't pay him. He's too old. He's in the same draft class as Myles Garrett, okay? He's just a year older than Myles Garrett. And if you look at his production, and you should do that before you start chirping out there, he's still ascending. He statistically is getting better every year. So stop with the age. We have a window. Both sides, let's get it together. Age isn't a factor. And then there is that, he has a year left on his deal. Like, what happened to honoring your contract? I can't with this one. I can't, because again, it's unheard of to have players like him go into their last year without a deal. And there are things that you want to stand apart from, right? You want to say like, well, he should honor his deal. We're going to be the team that makes him do this. This isn't all on the Bengals side. This is like obviously just been a mess a little bit. And I do believe they'll get it done. They did it with Jamar. Jamar also, as we can, we know he got the extension. It makes sense. It's just what happens. And it's what happens on winning teams. Okay, so what happens on teams like the Eagles, the Chiefs get ahead of things more often than not. There are teams that do that, and then they're the most successful. And you want it for there's other. We'll get into some of this, but the Eagles, a great example, like AJ, Devontae, Jalen, Saquon. They keep everyone happy, and it saved them cap space in the long run. There's number sense to it. There's culture sense to it. We've seen the Bills do this as well. This isn't one of those things you want to like dig your heels in on honoring a contract. And then if you look at that argument, if you're like Trey's side, let's have a little empathy for that. You're seeing what other guys are getting paid. You're seeing how meaningful you are. You're seeing how you were the one staple on that defense, like, to try to do everything you can, do it the right way. He showed up in good faith. Like, I don't know, exactly what's going on with all that, but do teams keep their side of their like word on that? No. And like, nobody really expects them to, and it's like, maybe it's like a bigger indictment on like what contracts are and what contracts aren't. You can talk about like there's more guaranteed money to make up for that. But how many times do teams rework deals? Or if there's like not the production they expected, they're just going to cut a guy loose to save cap space. And it's not a judgment on anyone. It's the way the league works forever, and it continues to work. And when I have examples like the contenders, which the Cincinnati Bengals are, they're right there. They're with the Bills, the Chiefs, they're with the Eagles. Like, I consider them in that caliber. Those are guys who work out these deals, and they don't treat them as ironclad deals. And they're constantly tweaked and reworked or even terminated to do right by the player, to do right by their own cap space in the long term. And there's this, there's another idea going around, like you can't pay for superstars. Like they pay TCU. Really, the Eagles have lots of superstars and they seem to pay them just fine. Not to like I'm making the comparison like positively for the Bengals. Like I love the Bengals, and I see them. I want everyone to feel that same way. I think they can do it. I think they're going to do it. I think we like to procrastinate a little bit, which is probably why I love them, because that's how I operate my life. Do the Bengals need him? Yeah, I saw people saying yesterday, well, what did all those sacks get them? It didn't get them anywhere. Well, what did the 5,000 yards from Joe Burrow get them? Like, should they get rid of him too? Like all the catches from Jamar, like, should we, because it didn't get them, there's like, yeah, there's another idea from insiders that there's no market for Trey. That teams is, like Commanders would like him. Lions have cap space. This is a guy who can help win a Super Bowl. And again, this isn't about blame. I just want to see both sides get things done. I don't know a lot of this, right? There's a huge chunk. This has been going on for a while, whatever. But the Bengals are so special. And I think that we can, I have faith, I guess, because of the Jamar, because of the T, that we're going to get this done. And Trey showing up is great. Hamilton, I'll also say him showing up and saying like, it's not a done deal. Like we're not past the point of no return. I don't really know what that does like for his leverage or whatever. But he's so, I guess what I'm dispelling right now is it's nothing about the Bengals or Trey. It's like literally fans who are saying that he's not worth it or not understanding why he would want or deserve to have his deal reworked. And it's the idea that like he's not important to this team and those sacks didn't make a difference. So like, let's cut him loose or like, let him go. Like, what is that? I guess that's my vibe.
Yeah, and those sacks were a big part of them making a run where they had a chance at making the playoffs at the end of the season after that disastrous start. He is an elite edge rusher in this league, and those guys tend to get taken care of ahead of time, like you said. And yeah, that idea that there's not going to be a market for him is crazy to me. There's a lot of teams with a lot of cap space that can make that work if it goes down that route. But yeah, I mean, this is something I think if you're the Bengals, you have to figure out a way to get it done because this window is now. They can make it work, and he's too important to that team.
Do you think? I mean, what did Dan like? Did Orlovsky? Who said that? Like there was a discourse on can they win the Super Bowl without him?
Yeah.
What do you think? I actually don't know. I don't know. I have to really think about that.
I don't think they can. I think he's too important to that defense. We saw like as good as the offense is, and the offense can make up for a lot. You need some studs on the defensive side of the ball, and I think they've gotten better defensively over this offseason. But he is he's the centerpiece. He's the guy.
I mean, I think he wants to be there. Him showing up and saying like it's not. I don't know if that's just a PR thing, don't hate me thing. Like, but I think he's getting a little venom from Bengals fans about honoring the deal, and it's hard. I mean, when I think about it, it is a little like, well, just because other teams do that doesn't mean that we have to. Like, we don't have to pay him now, and you can draw the line and say that, but there's actually financial sense in not doing that.
Yeah, working ahead, like you mentioned the example with the Eagles. That's part of the reason they've been able to afford everybody is because they got on this stuff early. AJ Brown, I think, was the highest paid receiver at the time when they paid him. He was either number 1 or number 2. He's now out of the top 5. Like Devontae Smith has been pushed out because when you get these things done early, this market is constantly exploding and growing, and these guys are getting paid more and more. It makes financial sense to do this stuff earlier too.
I'm optimistic they get it done. I don't like clowning on a player for wanting to get paid, especially when his market reflects that he's not being paid enough. I don't know the agent part. I didn't even want to, I mean, like, so I'm not speaking from a place of inside knowledge on this. I just think like, literally my thought is, can we just go win a Super Bowl? Like, can we just go do that? And like, enough now. And I think it's a team that sort of has been criticized for procrastinating when it comes to things. And I obviously, like, some people like being put in a corner. We got slow starts. We got this. We got like, that doesn't mean it's, just because it works. It doesn't mean it's right. Like, maybe we can just like all get better at like getting it done. But I actually don't care. I just want them to get it done now, get it done whenever. I think there is a market for him, so I don't like that either, just from the player's perspective. But Bengals perspective, they gotta love him. And I like that they're still talking. I like that he showed up. Things are trending in the right direction. Now let's shut up and like get a grip and get it going. Both sides. Both sides. And Bengals fans, I don't love that. I don't love that, but I love you guys.